This may be controversial, but most people who develop heart failure had warning signs years before the diagnosis. Signs their body whispered, then spoke, then shouted, and they still didn't notice. Not because they were careless, but because the symptoms are subtle, quiet, and often dismissed as just getting older. Today, we're going to break down the 6 hidden signs that doctors immediately recognize as red flags for a struggling heart. When cardiologists examine a patient, they're not just looking at scans and lab results. They read the body like a story. Every symptom has a meaning, every pattern has a history, and every change has a psychological consequence. Heart failure rarely appears out of nowhere. It evolves slowly, and the tragedy is that the earliest signs are the ones people ignore the most. Understanding these signs gives you something incredibly powerful. Time. Time to intervene. Time to adjust your lifestyle, and time to prevent the worst from happening. We live in a world where a huge number of adults over 55 mistake chronic fatigue for aging, swollen ankles for eating too much salt, or shortness of breath for being out of shape. But doctors don't think like that. Doctors categorize symptoms, they analyze patterns, and when they see certain combinations, especially in older adults, they know the heart is struggling. Not failing yet, but struggling, and struggle always precedes collapse. This video lists 6 signs, but what we're really uncovering is a deeper truth. The body always warns us, but we often don't listen until that warning becomes a crisis. So let's break down each hidden sign the way a cardiologist reads it. Number 1. Persistent fatigue. Doctors call this the hidden energy crisis. Most people think fatigue is normal, but doctors differentiate between normal tiredness and cardiac fatigue. When the heart weakens, it cannot pump enough blood to deliver oxygen throughout the body. The cells literally begin to starve. The brain slows down. The muscles weaken. The patient often says, "I just don't feel like myself." Psychologically, this is powerful. This deep fatigue makes people cut down on activities they enjoy. They start to isolate themselves. They stop exercising, and without knowing it, they actually accelerate their own decline. A body that moves stays healthy. A body that rests too long deteriorates. Number 2 is swelling in the feet and ankles. Doctors call this the silent fluid alarm. The medical term is edema, and it's one of the biggest giveaways of a struggling heart. The heart pumps blood out, and the veins return blood back. But when the heart weakens, pressure builds up in the veins, causing fluid to leak out into the surrounding tissues. Patients often blame salt or standing for too long. But doctors see this water retention and immediately think, could this be right-sided heart failure? Is there kidney strain? Is the entire circulatory system starting to collapse? Here's the psychological trap. Swollen feet don't usually hurt. They don't feel dangerous. So people tend to ignore them until they can't even get their shoes on anymore. Sign number 3 is shortness of breath, what I call the body begging for oxygen. This is the symptom that doctors take most seriously. Breathlessness, especially when resting or lying down, often means the lungs are filling with fluid because the heart can't push blood forward efficiently. What makes this sign so dangerous is how slowly it progresses. At first, you can't walk up a steep hill without getting winded. Then, you can't climb a flight of stairs. Eventually, you might feel short of breath even while you're just sitting on the couch. That is the point where most people finally seek help. But by then, doctors know the heart is already under very heavy strain. The 4th sign is a persistent cough or wheezing. This reveals the deep lung-heart connection. Most people think a cough is just a lung problem. Doctors know better. Sometimes the lungs aren't sick, they're drowning. When the heart fails to move blood properly, that blood stagnates, and fluid can back up into the lungs. This creates a dry, hacking cough that often gets worse at night when you lie down. The patient blames allergies or a cold. The doctor sees pulmonary congestion, one of the clearest signs of left-sided heart failure. Number 5 is a rapid or irregular heartbeat. Think of this as the heart sending out an SOS. Your heart can change its rhythm for two main reasons: emotional stress or structural damage. When a doctor hears about this, they immediately check for conditions like atrial fibrillation, a rhythm disorder that is both a cause and a consequence of heart failure. Patients describe it as fluttering, pounding, or feeling like their heart is skipping beats. Many people ignore it because it comes and goes. But intermittent symptoms, the ones that aren't constant, can be the most dangerous of all because they give a false sense of security. And the sixth hidden sign is unexplained weight gain. This is about fluid, not fat. People over 60 often say, "Oh, my weight just goes up and down," but doctors analyze how it changes. A sudden gain of 2 to 5 pounds in just a few days is almost always fluid retention, not fat. It means the heart is no longer managing the body's circulation effectively. This is considered an early emergency sign by cardiologists. Beyond the physical meaning, there's a psychological dimension here. Weight gain can feel like a failure of self-discipline. People blame themselves for eating too much instead of realizing it's a critical medical warning from their cardiovascular system. Now, here is the most important point that doctors understand, and most people don't. Heart failure is not a single catastrophic event. It is a slow decline that can often be stopped or even reversed if it's caught early enough. The signs appear long before the crisis. Your body whispers before it screams. But if you can learn to understand these warnings, you can take control of your health trajectory instead of just reacting to emergencies. Doctors know these signs not because they are dramatic, but because they follow a clear pattern. Fatigue means low circulation. Swelling means high venous pressure. Breathlessness means lung congestion. The cough is fluid backing up. An irregular heartbeat signals electrical instability. And rapid weight gain is fluid overload. Individually, these symptoms are just annoying, but when you see them together, they become diagnostic. The takeaway from all of this is simple. None of these symptoms should be ignored, especially if they are new or getting worse. Heart failure is most treatable at its earliest stage, and the majority of patients who get help early live longer, fuller, and healthier lives. Becoming aware of these signs isn't about fear-mongering, it's about empowerment. It's the difference between catching a problem when it's small and manageable, or waiting until it becomes irreversible. So if you notice these signs in yourself or someone you love, please don't self-diagnose and don't panic. Instead, use this information to take action. Speak to a doctor, get your blood pressure checked, review your lifestyle, and start monitoring your symptoms. Please share this video with someone you care about who is over 55. It could truly make a difference, and it might even save a life. And let me know in the comments below. Which of these signs surprised you the most, and what will you start paying more attention to in your own health? Thanks for watching.